Oh, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I'm going down a new street, a street I haven't gone down yet. So I thought, well, I'm gonna, normally I show you something I've already been involved in. Now I won't. This is something new. So, and I came in here. This is where we came in, and I'm looking for my tablet. My tablet's not functioning right. It says I'm low on storage, and I can't get the thing to hardly work. So I want to try to find some place that can do the repairs. And well, not really repairs. Just I did an update on it, and after I did the update, that made it even worse yet. I never do updates, so anyway, that's what I'm going to be looking for. And so I'm showing you what it is. So you have some idea what kind of surroundings I'm in, and it's now. So, and I always have different things that I'm looking for. So I'm not looking for just one certain thing, but that's a new thing on my list, is trying to get my tablet going. I'm always looking for work. I'm always looking for opportunity. And this, talking about that, we're going to talk a little bit more. You know, I got a Chinese woman now, and she's I want to tell you what happened lately. And someone asked, "Are you married yet?" And this is when you start dealing with international stuff, things really get complicated. And I answered one person when they asked me about that, and I was married to my late wife for 41 years, and then that's when I found out we weren't married. In other words, we didn't go through all of the legal processes to be married. Now, if you are in an area and like a country, and you stay in that country, you can be legally married, and your life will be happy forever after, because you are legally married. The problem is, on international stuff, you may not be they may not recognize your marriage, and more than likely they don't. So then what you end up doing is you get married in this other country. So now you're married in two countries. Now the other thing is, once you start doing this kind of stuff, now the names have changed. Who are who's being married? And what are you using for addresses? What are you using for nationality? Some places ask your nationality, some don't. So it really gets complicated. That's why I mentioned, when I talked about it earlier, I said what I've done is I've already made a commitment. And as far as I'm concerned, she's my wife. Now, if you want to go through the legal process, I don't know. Is she legally my wife? It depends on the place you're at, on what the law is. And this is what we're doing. We're trying to get it legalized, and the only reason we're getting it legalized is so I can take her to the United States to go visit. Like I said, I don't live in the United States. We're just going to go visit there. So, so that's what we're doing. We're going through the legal process. And so we were down, we went to the U.S. Embassy. We have to get a statement from the U.S. Embassy saying that I am single, that I can get married to a Chinese girl, that I am single. And so I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. Because what I was curious is, how does the United States government know? They don't know if I'm single or if I'm married. And so I thought this would be kind of cool. I want to see them come up with a certificate and shows that I am single. And I want to know how they know all this stuff. Well, come to find out, I had to fill out this paper. And this paper says that what do you call it? They asked if I've ever been married and if I was divorced or if I'm a widow. And so I answered it. So in other words, they don't know. They have to go by the information that I give them. And so then they wanted a date. Well, when did she die? And that was the first problem. If you've been keeping up with me, my wife was killed. And she was killed through a process that many people are killed. And that's through the medical way. The medical kills a lot of people. And they say, oh, well, you're just bitter. So that's why, it's not quite like that. One of the other things is they kept her on life support. She was dead, and they kept her on life support so they could do paperwork and do other things, get all this stuff done before she was dead. Then after everything was ready, then they declared her dead. So the date, I know when she was dead. I just don't know when they said it was official. And so you say, oh, well, then it'll be the death certificate. Well, that sounds good, too. Now, in Guatemala, the death certificate has a 1-year expiration on it. And then after that, it doesn't, there's no more. And it gives you 1 year to do all the paperwork. All the paperwork that's necessary. Insurance, legal matters, and all this other kind of stuff. And the reason they limit that is because after 1 year, your paperwork's going to be forged, and then they're going to start doing other things. And that's why you don't do the death certificate. So different countries have different ways of doing things. And so I didn't have the date. And once, if I gave them a date, and I don't know where they're going to check that information from. Are they going to check it from the United States? Are they going to check it from Guatemala? Or are they going to check it anyway? So, and if it doesn't match, then we have to do everything all over again. You know how government work is. The information is wrong, you have to do all of it all over again. So then I said, well, I guess I can't do it because I don't have the date. Now it's funny because my new wife, she was really upset at me. She said, that's an important date. I should know it. Well, you're right. And if it was any other circumstances, I probably would know it. But seeing I was under those circumstances, things have changed. And so it's different. And so then she got mad. And so that I wouldn't know something like that. And then now we're at the house and I'm showing her the paper that I have to fill out. And you can do it in one pen. I don't use different pens. And it's done in Chinese and it's done in English. So that's going to be complicated. And then the other question was on my late wife, they said her name. I don't know her name. And so my wife now, she was really upset. You don't even know your wife's name. And then I told her, I don't know your name. And I don't know her name. She doesn't have it in alphabets. Hers is in symbols. And so I can't read symbols, so I don't know her name. And then, so now I've been told what her name is, and it sounds like whatever, and so that's what I call her, is what it sounds like. But it's not correct. That's the same thing with my late wife. Don't forget, she didn't speak English. We got married, so I didn't know her name. I didn't know her name until she wrote it on the marriage certificate, or marriage license. That's when I found out what her name was. And that was in alphabets, except for I don't read Spanish, so I said it incorrectly. But that's the way she went by that name after we got married, because that's the only way I could say it. I can't say it the Spanish way. And to make things even worse, then it was the date with her birthday. And I said, well, I know her birthday, but I don't know your birthday. And then so she got out her passport and showed me her birthday. And then I asked her, okay, is your birthday on which calendar is your birthday on? And then she says, what are you talking about? We're doing all this through a translation app. And I said, okay, there's a lunar calendar, it goes by the sun, and then, or it goes by the moon, and then they've got the other calendar. I don't even know what that is, and it goes by the sun. What birthday is yours on? And hers is now, the way I understand, it's by the sun, the same as ours. The problem is, all of my Chinese family, their birthdays are on the lunar calendar. So their birthday changes each year when you look at it through our sun calendar. So there's no easy way of answering the government forms. This is why I don't like doing government forms on anything. And that has been confusing her a lot. So, but anyway, I thought I'd mention that to you. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.